measures to help mitigate the impact of load shedding on people in Johannesburg. Eskom has been struggling to keep the lights on without interruption, fluctuating at the moment between stages 1, 2 and 3 of load shedding. For more on this, let's speak to City Power spokesperson Isaac Mangena. A very good evening to you, Isaac. Grateful for your time. So if Eskom can't keep the lights on full time, how will you do it?
Thanks very much for having us, and good evening to the viewers at home. Yes, we are basically trying to ensure that we move away from the over-dependence on Eskom, because as you see, our relationship is very, it's an abusive relationship between City Power and Eskom, and that's why part of what we are trying to do is to ensure that we come up with measures and programs to cushion our residents from the grueling impact of load shedding. And one of those is basically the what we're doing today, onboarding new short-term power purchase producers, so that they can be able to assist us with some level of megawatts. We're looking at around 92 megawatts that they will bring on board, and that is something that will basically go a long way in ensuring that we move the needle from where we were yesterday in terms of our relationship with Eskom.
When you say it's an abusive relationship between the city and Eskom, what do you mean?
Obviously, the undesirable impact of load shedding, obviously, it's a national crisis, it's a national problem that we have to basically oblige. But you should remember that City Power, or the city of Johannesburg, is the customer of Eskom. And as such, every customer, when they don't get the service that they are supposed to basically get, in this instance with our relationship with Eskom, then there is a problem in that regard. And that's why we are working with Eskom, of course. But what we're trying to do is to basically assist in terms of some of the programs that we can come up with, which will ensure that we are able to move some of the load shedding impact that is there on our residents, on our businesses. We have already had some of the businesses basically moving to other cities like Cape Town, and some of our residents, obviously, as we speak, they are sitting in the dark because of this load shedding, and the impact on our infrastructure cannot be even measured as I'm talking to you now.
Let's talk about these 92 megawatts from 4 private producers, right? How will they change the lives of Joburg residents and businesses in the most practical way?
So in the most practical way, so basically, as you know, one stage of load shedding is about 100 megawatts. And this 92 is almost that 100 megawatts that we can actually offset one stage of load shedding. So when Eskom is on stage 3, at least we will be a stage less than what Eskom is. But you should remember that this is not the only measure that we are putting in place. We are basically having about 10 points plan as City Power, as the city of Johannesburg, to ensure that we basically gather around 500 megawatts of alternative energy by 2030. And this is just one of those programs that we are dealing with. We also have your load limiting technology, which we basically showed to the media and the residents about a month or two ago, which can basically ensure that we save even further in terms of this. And I think, as the minister said to us in one of our meetings, every megawatt counts. So the 92, it is a step in the right direction to ensure that at least by next year, we at least have some of the stages, more of the stages of load.
With that in mind then, Isaac, will there come a point where even these 92 megawatts won't make a difference? Because I remember a situation in Cape Town where they were able to get power through alternative sources, but as we intensified or the situation worsened, in fact, with the power cuts all the way to stage 6, it became more difficult for the city to cushion residents in that instance. Would the same apply to you?
Look, I think in terms of the city of Johannesburg, with the kind of plans that we have on the table, it is really promising, and we are having a lot of other programs that we are gonna be rolling out soon. We are having we have completed the extension of the PPA power purchase agreement with Kelvin Power Station, which will basically increase the capacity to 180 megawatts, but also extend the duration to around 22 2026 with the option to renew, and that is almost closed, and the Premier of Gauteng should be making that announcement in the coming few days. And we also have our gas turbines in the city. We still have 2 of those that can basically be fired up, and the work is currently underway to basically ensure that we refurbish and reposition them to basically be able to be fired up as quickly as possible. But also, as I mentioned, we do have those load limiting devices that we have started to roll out and ensure that we deal with those, so we can be able to reduce the consumption that is done by the geysers. As you know, 20% of the consumption of electricity, of power or electricity in household is through the geysers. So we are basically be able to ensure that whenever it goes to the rate, we are able to basically switch it off. But also what we are also rolling out currently as I'm talking to you is the solar panels that we are basically putting on all of our 700 City of Johannesburg buildings. So we'll have what we call virtual substation in the form of those solar panels on our buildings. So that will basically go a long way in terms of ensuring that we reduce some of the capacity that Eskom is basically looking for, and we'll be able to keep the lights on while we're also making sure that the business of the city continues.
Isaac Mangena, City Power spokesperson, thank you for your time.